What's up, guys? Good morning. So I just wanted to go over some of my favorite peptides, seeing as peptides seem to be the biggest trend right now. I feel like the main problem is there's so much information out there, and all of these sound so great. So it's like, well, I'm just gonna take all of these. It's not what you want to do. You want to pick. I wouldn't say necessarily just one at a time, because there's some things that aren't obviously geared towards the same goal that you could keep in longer. So I'm going to start with my first one because that's a good example. BPC 157. That's been basically a staple for me since I injured my knee in January of 24. I was using BPC and TB together for a while. And then I've switched to just the BPC, and its greatest effect is when you go directly into the area, or as close to the area that you can. So for me, my knees are a problem area. Even though I've since healed my injury and it's better, I can do everything that I want to do, but I do get pain there and discomfort in my knees, and I want to stay on top of it. So I use the BPC consistently in my knees, and I feel much better when I'm using it. If I take a break from it, I do notice it's not as smooth as it was. So BPC is great for healing, especially injuries, tendons, ligaments. I had a meniscus injury. I had a hole in my meniscus, and I literally couldn't squat down with body weight for a couple months. So that helped me get back to full range of motion, being able to contract my leg and get growth from my legs again, especially my right leg, which is the knee that I injured. It had atrophied quite a bit, and I've been able to bring it back up. So I'm very happy with BPC. Another one that's probably less commonly talked about and known is C-Max. I love C-Max because I'm not a big stim guy. I don't like a ton of stimulants. At 40 years old, I'm not trying to do the old school Jack 3D or fucking Orange Crush and become a complete psychopath in the gym. I want very consistent focus, and I want to feel like I can really lock in to the muscles that I'm trying to target. My intent during each of my working sets is my priority, and the C-Max really does that for me. It gives me a nice mental clarity and boost. I feel like it helps me really stay focused into each exercise that I'm doing. So C-Max is a great one. I take that pre-training. MOT-C is also one that's very talked about right now. It's really big. It's becoming probably the second most popular peptide currently, if you include retatrutide, which we'll get to next. But the MOD-C, it's a mitochondria-focused peptide. It's great for metabolic efficiency, endurance, nutrient utilization. It improves basically the way that your cells use the energy. And one thing that I've found with it, with myself, obviously I'm in an off season, I'm trying to grow, trying to continuously add lean muscle tissue, and I don't want to get fat. So I want to keep my body in a good spot. I want to keep things working the best that they can. So I'm utilizing nutrients the best way possible so that I build muscle and I don't add unnecessary body fat. So I've noticed a huge improvement with that. I've hit a pretty good weight so far. I mean, I still have another 10 to 15 pounds that I'm trying to put on and maintain this same level of body composition or conditioning. And the MOD-C has done that. It's helped with that drastically. And it's also improved my my blood glucose drastically. I've seen great changes. I've had to increase the dose to really see it. So I think it's most effective in that 2 to 3 milligram a day dose. I know people have gone higher. I run it at 2.5. I do 2.5 every morning. As far as doses too, to get, so back to the other two, I didn't really go over doses, but the C-Max, I run at 1 milligram pre-training, and I noticed that it works great, so I've stayed there. BPC, There's times I've run it higher, but I like 1 milligram, and I do that every night before bed, and I go right into my right knee or my left knee. I just alternate daily, so I'm getting both of those areas saturated with as much of it as I can. The last peptide, which is really more of a drug, it's a research chemical, you can call it. It's a retatrutide. Obviously, it's very well known at this point. So it's a triple agonist, so it focuses on GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon receptors. So it actually makes your body much more efficient at processing things. So it goes hand in hand with the MOTS-C. The thing with the Reta is it's really gonna kill that food noise and some of those cravings, especially obviously the higher you go with the dose. The problem with using it in an off-season setting is if you're using a high dose, it's actually affecting your appetite and you're not able to eat the food that you have to eat to actually grow. So you don't want that. You want just, if you're going to use it in the off-season, you want a very small amount that's going to help your body process foods. It's going to help your glucose response drastically. You're going to see a big difference with that. And overall, it's almost like a health optimizer. I've seen in myself and plenty of clients just ridiculous improvements in blood panels. So that's why I like to have it in. It's more of the health benefit side of it. I mean, in the off season, I would do 100 micrograms a day. In prep, I did work up to 300 micrograms a day, which is about 2 milligrams a week. That's as high as I would go. I know people go much higher. I've seen people do 1 milligram a day. That's a lot. I don't know how you can even eat on that. That's not what I want. In prep, I want to quiet the food noise a little bit. It does help. It is nice. And not have to rely on stimulants as much. I want to really nail my nutrition and feel like on those lower days, I'm not getting those food cravings. It's a little easier to stick to my plan. And obviously the metabolic efficiency of my body is better on it. So I'm gonna utilize fat better, I'm gonna burn fat better, and I'm gonna store carbs the way I want to, and make sure the proteins go to maintaining and continuing to build and repair muscle tissue. So those would be my top 4. And again, with these, you don't want to just throw everything in the mix at once. What I would do is start with, one peptide that's for a specific goal for you. So if you're going to do something like MOTS-C, you're looking for, lean out, improve body composition, I would do MOTS-C on its own. The thing with the MOTS-C though, it's best when you do SS31 prior to, at least, for like a 4-week, 6-week phase. That's really going to improve the function of MOTS-C. So typically that's what I would do with someone. I would run a little SS31 either before or just right at the beginning of introducing MOTS-C. Ideally a little before, like I said, 4 to 6 weeks, and then put the MOTS-C in and then pull the SS31. It's not something you need to run all the time. And then I would run it like that. So use the MOTS-C after the SS31, but you're not adding 3, 4, 5, 6 peptides all at once. These things are add-ons to your structured training, your consistency with nutrition and recovery. Always focus on those things first. Those should be the most important before you even look into supplements and performance enhancing compounds. And then another little side note is with the peptides, give it some time before making a change. So if you start, for example, like a retatrutide, start low. Don't just jump into, hey, I'm going to take 2 milligrams a week. You're going to feel like shit, and it's going to give you side effects. It's going to slow down your digestion so much right off the bat. It's going to be such a hammer, and you don't want that. You want a slow, steady feel, and you want to let it build up in your system. Give yourself a good month running 500 micrograms a week. See how your body responds, see how things change, see how you feel. Pay attention to those before you go increasing your dose. So anyways, I hope this helps with some peptide questions. If you have more questions on peptides, please feel free to shoot me a message. DM me on Instagram, shoot me an email, chainsaw@chainsawmethodcoaching.com. But typically, if you just have a quick question, shoot me a DM on IG, chainsaw_116, and I'll be happy to answer it. If you have anything that you want me to discuss in future Q&A videos, send them there too, or comment here, leave your questions here. And again, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And obviously, this is all advice just from my own experience with bodybuilding and physique enhancement, and with my clients as well. So I've been doing this for 25 years, helping people reach their fitness goals. And obviously, this peptide realm has become pretty big in the last 2-3 years, and I only see it getting bigger. So it's definitely something worth discussing. A big thing to also remember with peptides is they're so new, they haven't been as studied as some of the long-term compounds that we use. So those things should still be prioritized. But if you play your cards right and you do things correctly, you can actually use less of the other stuff because your body is functioning better from the quality of peptide regimen you have. So you can actually improve how your body utilizes those things. I mean, I've seen it myself. I've used much less of the other things and gotten more out of it, but I'm also focused on all the other variables more so, or as much as I ever have. I mean, sleep has become a big priority. That's helped me tremendously. Get a consistent sleep routine. Make sure you're getting to bed around the same time and getting up around the same time. Give your body that consistent structure and get enough quality sleep, 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. And then nutrition, obviously, your nutrition has to be on point. Nothing's gonna outdo a bad diet. So make sure your nutrition's on point. And then with your training, look into your training. Are you recovering? Are you doing too much volume? Are you doing some junk volume that you don't need? Learn to really lock in on your working sets, and you shouldn't need 30 to 40 sets in a workout. Most of my workouts are typically 1 to 2 working sets per exercise, and I might do 5 to 7 exercises. So it's not a ton of volume, but I'm focused and locked in for those working sets. And again, guys, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is just from my experience. So take it as you will, and hopefully it helps some people, and people continue to research and discuss these things on your own. Look forward to your feedback. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.